What is going on, guys? Dork Gaming here, and I want to bring you a little bit of I don't know exactly what to call it. I'm just gonna be talking about a lot of things, more or less. First things first, the Limbo Rework. Then, after that, I'm gonna be talking about the Black Ops 3 realistic campaign that I said I'd be continuing, and something that I want to bring you up to date with. First things, obviously, is the Limbo Rework, so let's get that out of the way. Warning, spoiler alert, it's probably going to be a pretty big rant, so if you don't want to watch that, go ahead and ditch the video up to the point that I change the subject. The builds that you see in the background right now are builds of the weapons that I used in the two missions that I'm going to showcase to you. Forgive me, I forgot to actually include my Vacor Heck into this, so I'm sorry, it's more or less just a basic crit build though, if you want it. Just every damage mod and crit mods. That's literally all I had it. Obviously though, I did add prime mods as well. So let's just go on with it. What do I think of the Limbo Rework? Personally, I find it redundant rework. I'm gonna be straightforward. I don't think that it's a bad rework, but I don't think it's a good one either. It's just neutral. I mean, it doesn't really change much of Limbo's role. I mean, yeah, you got that cool looking ability that allows you to stop time and like keep a lot of things in one place without them even bothering you, which makes him a pretty beastly crowd control warframe. But at the same time, you make me lose the capability to cast all of my abilities because I had too many people in the rift stuck in a frozen state. So it's more or less like banned for being too good type of scenario. I don't quite get it. Let's just take his abilities and move on from there. First ability is Banish. That ability has been changed to have a radial effect. Do I like this? No. Do I hate it? Neither. I just think it's kind of like, if I want to add a lot of people in the rifts, why wouldn't I just use a Cataclysm instead? And if you want to go for a negative range and still have many people going in the rifts, well, you're going with negative range. I mean, you're not getting a lot of people in the rift to begin with. You're more or less going for specific targeting. So, yeah, what you doing there is beyond me. Now, the build that I showed you is the secondary build I use on my Limbo. I have the first build, which is Limbo the Sniper. In that build, I actually sit far back and use Banish from far away. In this build, I go up close and personal most of the time, or I'm defending points, so I'm using Cataclysm on top of those points. Right now, as it stands, this is my objective build. And the other one is the more generic build if I want to go for some sort of survival or exterminate or yada yada. With the rework, do any of these change? Not one bit. Seriously, not one bit. If his first ability is the exact same as it was in the dev stream, which means I just target it on the ground and I send a lot of people in the rift, or I target a dude and the ones that are beside him also go in the rift, I could have just used Cataclysm. And what, is it the radial stun that I'm after? If I wanted to radial stun people, I would just use a different warframe, or better yet, use a weapon that guarantees a knockdown. So I could just cast a Cataclysm and then do the slam, in example if I had, say, the Haruto, and all the people around me would instantly get knocked down, so I won't have to worry about it. I honestly don't see why would you do that to Banish. It's basically a cataclysm that guarantees a knockdown. So you instantly make cataclysm useless. What is it, the radial sphere effect? The less particles the better. So Banish is instantly better than cataclysm. What? You're making your 1 stronger than your 4th? Excuse me, how does that work? Now they did mention that Cataclysm like deals more damage and yada yada yada. No, you don't understand. CC is everything. You don't scale damage, you scale CC in Warframe. So that extra damage that Cataclysm does over Banish, right out the window when you go to something like a sortie, because damage does not matter. CC does, which means your 1st is better than your 4th. Let's go to your 2nd ability now. You stop time, and that also stops projectiles. What about hit scan weapons? I'm using a Rubico over here. It's not a projectile weapon, it's a hit scan weapon. Does that mean that it's not gonna work? What if I don't want to use projectile weapons? What if I don't want to compensate for the arc or the time that it takes for something to actually go to its target? What if I just want to instantly poke it in the head? Does that still work? We have no confirmation, so I can't really tell you whether or not I hate that part or no. As an ability though, it's great and it's amazing if the whole overload thing is removed. That overload thing is completely needless. There are a lot more Warframes that can do such CC without the overload. So disabling all of my abilities because I'm too good and I basically CC everybody is kind of pointless to me. Why would you do that? You're kind of telling me do not play this Warframe because you're gonna be too good with it. So yeah, why do you do that? Now his 3rd ability, I like it. I like what they did to the 3rd ability. So I don't necessarily know exactly how it works. I think if you put them out of the rift while the 3rd ability is active, they get to spawn in a mini cataclysm. And if you kill them with the 3rd ability in the rift, they explode, dealing damage, something like that sort. Okay, I guess. I mean, it's not necessarily anything great, but it's okay. So, yeah. It's a good rework. Like, the only one that I actually don't have something bad to talk about. On the contrary, I already speak about your 4th ability, Cataclysm. It's a radial bubble that is more or less a worse version of Banish. Need I say more? I don't think so. So yeah, what do I think about the Limbo rework? Honestly, I stand neutrally on it because I like the rework, but I'm a bit disappointed because I find it to be a more or less needless rework because it didn't necessarily change much. It just kind of swapped his abilities around. So that's more or less what I have to say about that. Before I close the subject though, can we please nerf the Hayeka Masters? Because I don't want to get killed by a Hayeka Master napalm bomb again while in the rift trying to revive an operative. That is like the worst nightmare of me when I play as Limbo. I see a Hayeka Master and I'm like, nope, you die. Because their Ignis can, like, let me just put it in more generic words. Hayeka Masters don't know when to give a fuck if you're in the rift or not. So you could be in the rift and they're out of the rift, but hey, who gives a shit? I'm just gonna throw a napalm bomb at your face and you're gonna die. And then next thing you know, when you spawn in again and you go back into the rift, it's perfectly normal. You can't get killed by it again. What the fuck? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and close that subject, just throw it out the window, and let's move on to the next one. Black Ops 3 Realistic Campaign. Jesus Christ, it was a bad idea. Before I say anything, I am actually planning on continuing it. As a matter of fact, I already started making videos on it. Where's the problem? Yeah, they're all an hour long. And I don't mind that they're an hour long. Obviously, if you clicked on the video, despite knowing that it's an hour long video, then you obviously want to watch it, despite the fact that it's an hour long video. But here's where things get a little bit dicey. I have shit internet, like really shit internet, which means that I can't necessarily wait for an hour long video to upload. It's kind of impossible for me because it's an hour long, so my internet can't handle it. It's gonna fail, and I'm gonna have to try and re-upload it. And in the end, it's just gonna be more or less me just sitting here in front of the screen, waiting for it to upload when it doesn't upload. Now again, I could theoretically, like, just cut it into pieces, but I don't like doing that. I feel like it's a bit of a clickbaity thing to do. Add in parts to something, because if you want to watch the whole thing, you know, with no cuts other than basically me cutting out the parts where I die continuously on one part until I manage to get through it, because I am cutting those out, is just, yeah, it's still an hour long. And my video is not gonna be shorter than an hour long. Just face it. I like to put up a video where I showcase everything. If it's a playthrough, it needs to contain everything. I'm not gonna cut out a piece of the video just because I think it's boring. If you clicked on it, then you obviously want to watch it. It's a playthrough. You want to watch what happens. You want to watch the whole thing. Now, if it was something where there's really not much to do, other than basically, like, say, survive, like Call of Duty Zombies as an example, that I would cut out pieces of because they are boring. That's more or less, like, self-explanatory. But when it comes to playthroughs, I like to upload the whole thing. Again, except the parts where I die continuously on one part of the mission. So say, like, I'm trying to get past through a doorway and I keep getting killed. I will cut that out until I manage to actually go through it. That's more or less how I work. So, yeah. My point here is, I am actually making the videos. I have them ready. Most of them. I have yet to finish it, but I have a pretty decent amount of videos ready to upload. It's just that I don't want to upload them yet because they're an hour long, which means that my internet is not gonna like me. So I hope you understand, if you don't see them anytime soon, that I'm just kind of busy trying to upload them. It's not that I don't want to upload them or that I'm just slacking. It's that my internet is bad and so I can't upload these videos. Now that's it. So let's move on to the last subject that I'm going to talk about, which is a pretty short. Now, some of you may or may not know my friend TacoManOfTheWest. We like to pretty much talk about games. I think that's more or less like self-explanatory. We're both gamers, we both like to do fun stuff. So I'm gonna put his YouTube channel in the description below if you want to go watch some of his videos. He does some different things than what I do, so you may want to watch his videos instead in some occasions. So we're gonna try something. I don't know how well it's gonna go because it's kind of the first for both of us trying to do something like this, and I hope that you'll enjoy what we'll try and do. But anyway, guys, that's more or less what I have for you today. I hope that I didn't just waste 15 minutes of your time and that you actually found something that was important in this video. But anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching.